up.
Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
We've totally lost our minds. I'm embarrassed to live in this state. After I read this story, and I know this isn't like new. I don't know if you've heard about that. You might have heard about this story. I think it actually came out last Friday. San Francisco is going to start paying potential criminals $300 a month not to shoot people.
Yeah.
They're calling this the Dreamkeeper Fellowship, which will give a membership card or a gift card to 10 people deemed at high risk of shooting someone, as long as they don't shoot somebody. We're paying people not to be criminals now. Like, what the hell is going on in the state of California? What in the world is going on?
Did you see
the leadership, the government is now paying people not to shoot people. What the hell? This is what our taxpayers are going to? What do we pay the cops for? Oh, I forgot we defunded them because whatever.
I mean, didn't you see the display of white supremacy down in Venice yesterday? White woman.
I don't know what you're talking about.
White woman in a gorilla mask throwing eggs at a African American
at Larry Elders
at an African American gubernatorial candidate. Yet, nothing will happen from that. There'll be no charges.
How do you know she was white if she had a gorilla mask on?
Because she had just a mask on. Unfortunately, she was wearing like a tube top or something, so you could tell the color of her skin.
Jeez. Well,
and it doesn't matter whether she's white or not. She's wearing a gorilla mask, throwing eggs at an African American gubernatorial candidate.
But we all know that she was throwing eggs at a guy that was not a part of her political beliefs.
Right. Because
isn't that embarrassing?
Let's flip this script. If that was Maxine Waters, if that was Cori Bush, and somebody came up, was wearing a gorilla mask, and threw eggs at them, the media would have a field day with that. But that is where we are at right now. You are picking sides. That is where we are at as society. We are at odds with each other. Whether it's paying criminals to not shoot people and harboring that kind of attitude. I mean, make no mistake, okay? There are politicians that are in power right now that harbor these kind of behaviors, whether it's assaulting somebody with eggs. And by the way, she took a swipe at his security guard too.
Oh, God.
She hit him in the face.
Was she arrested?
No, she was not arrested.
How was she not arrested?
I mean, hopefully.
That's assault.
Is there a Venice Police Department? Is that LAPD? I don't know. I don't know my way around Los Angeles well enough to know what is what. In Los Angeles, but if it's the Venice PD, hopefully there's an investigation into who the person on the bicycle throwing eggs at the African American while wearing a gorilla mask, because that could be a hate crime.
It would be in any other situation.
Yes, wholeheartedly, it would be in any other situation. But because he's got an R next to his name and he's running for governor, people are like, oh, well, they didn't mean it that way. We've already labeled him as the blackface of white supremacy. So, come on. White supremacy can't go on against him at all.
I don't know what's going. This is
it's upside down. Everything is upside down
screwed up right now. And I don't know if have we lost control? Have we lost an ability to grab the reins, as they say? Not only will they pay $300 to people who potentially might shoot and kill somebody, but there's extra value in it. Extra money, by the way, that you can get $200 if you go to your parole meeting.
Bonus level? It's like playing a video game.
You get released from jail. You're on parole. You need to go to parole meetings. If you don't go to parole meetings, you get arrested. You go back to jail. Nowadays, that doesn't happen. Instead, they will pay you another $200 to go on. So what does that tell you? If I'm a criminal, I can get paid to sit on my ass, not to do what I want. I don't have to go to work. I got no responsibilities. They'll give me money so I don't shoot people, and then they'll give me more money once I get arrested so I can go to sit and listen to somebody or talk to somebody about my parole.
Did you see the video?
Never been on parole, so I don't know.
I mean, it's backwards in California. It's backwards in Oregon. It's backwards in Washington. I don't know if you saw what happened in Oregon yesterday. Maybe it was day before yesterday. The days just run together now. There was Two guys, they walk into a Lowe's, broad daylight, like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, load up their carts full of copper wire and walk right out. And the employees are like, hey, wait, you guys got to pay for this. Got to pay for this. And they're like, no, we don't. Whatever. We don't got to pay for this. They walk right by this guy.
Newsom changed the law in California to where it has to be a certain amount to
Oregon.
be. Oh, this was in Oregon?
Yeah.
I don't know if it must be the same in Oregon then, to where there's a crazy astronomical amount of money that you have to steal to where it's a felony. Otherwise, it's a misdemeanor.
This is ridiculous.
It's a ticket. They mail it to you.
There was one guy who worked for Lowe's who was going to go pursue them because they were stealing the goods. Another employee, I don't know if she was his superior or what, put her hand on his chest as if to say, stop, no, let them go. The sad thing about it is, dude that went and was going to get them to actually either pay for the copper wire or get the copper wire back is probably going to get fired as a result of this. That is how upside down society is right now.
Move on. Jeff writes in. She says we need to stop paying taxes to fund the government. You know, it's funny. You do that, you're going to get arrested. You're going to go to jail. But if you might kill somebody, they'll give you a $300 gift card not to shoot somebody.
Or if you're a violent offender.
But if you don't pay your taxes, you're going to prison.
Yes, if you don't pay your taxes, they'll send you to prison. But because you must support your government that is allowing things like prisoner releases of violent sex offenders onto the streets due to, quote unquote, a pandemic. It is so.
I know people have busy
bass
lives.
Backwards. I can't even. It's really starting to frustrate me. And make no mistake, okay. There is an election coming up in 5 days. 5 days. If you support Gavin Newsom, or if you support a no on the recall, you are supporting the behavior of the woman wearing the gorilla mask, throwing eggs at the African-American candidate in Venice yesterday.
Well, I don't know if that's the case.
Why not?
No,
Why not?
Because that's not fair.
That's
not fair to everybody else. That's not fair to everybody else. And just because,
but that side is labeling people that support Larry Elder as white supremacists.
I know they are. I know, and that's not fair either. That's not fair either.
Right.
But to say that if you vote no on the recall, then that means you're approving of somebody to throw an egg at somebody else. That's not fair. I know it's frustrating.
Was that person tracked down and prosecuted?
But I will say this, and I know people are busy. They have families. They have work. They don't have time to pay attention to all this. But it's like, oh my God, you need to open your eyes and see what's happening here. This is crazy.
I just don't understand how in good conscience and ethics, the media can paint a picture in one direction and then totally ignore the questions of, and I'm going to use a political term here because people that consume the media are the constituents of the media. Okay? The people that consume the media, if those people have questions about certain ways stories are being covered or about certain aspects of things like the pandemic or Afghanistan, and the media does not fulfill them, then they're not serving you. Why do you keep running back to the media?
It's funny because, you and I, we went to school, we went to journalism school, we went to the Edward R. Murrow School of Communication. We were taught how important ethics is in journalism. You turn on the TV every night, and depending on what network you're watching, if you really follow it for a while and you flip around, and we're a student of this, so this is something we just look at it a little bit different.
We have inside information.
We just look at it a little different. But it's amazing how you can look and pick out which network and how politically they're leaning, and how obvious it is that they'll just ignore the other side of it. And
you can really
really see it in political ads
for both sides.
Yeah.
Like the the message that is being cast on the political side of things for the ad campaigns is hilarious.
Yeah, and
I mean, it's like how do people eat this up? But you get it shoved down your throat 27 times a day, then I can see how people's judgment can be framed.
And, we grew up, we were taught, we were raised to say, listen, read the newspaper, turn on the news. These are ethical people. They are giving you the facts. They're not giving you anything else. And that is so changed over the past. I mean, I've seen it in the past decade. I mean, I'm sure it's been in the last couple decades. But, when people ask me, well, what do you do? I says, well, I turn off the news and I get online and I start researching. And you got to research everywhere. And to really figure out what you really think is going on, get both sides of it, get all the sides of it, and then make up your own mind. You're not an idiot. You're smart. You're a human. You're an intelligent person. You can do it. But if you just sit there and drink the same Kool-Aid, then you're only going to get that flavor.
But I watch both. And sometimes compelling sides come up in both.
Hi, thanks for hanging on.
Not very often.
Good morning. How are we doing, guys?
Good. Go ahead.
Hey, Jeff's on fire today. I love it. I appreciate him fighting Hyperbold with the whole if you don't speak out against this. But you got to do it like they do it. You got to say your silence on this issue is an alliance on this issue. If you don't speak out for Larry Elder, you are for white supremacy.
Right. Okay. I got you. I got you on that one. So I am speaking out on behalf of Larry Elder and the attack by the white supremacists in the gorilla mask on the bicycle that threw eggs at him yesterday at a campaign stop in Venice. Venice, of all places, which is the absolute scourge of society. Those people that were taking swipes at his security detail, the ones that were throwing the eggs, the ones that were getting in the face of his security guy that was just doing his job, those are the supporters of no on the recall. Those are the supporters of your gelled coif in chief, Gavin Newsom.